Mr. Bala had everything a man could dream of: wealth, power, respect. But every night, as he sat alone in his mansion, one fear kept him awake. What kind of man would marry his only daughter? He had buried his wife on the day he welcomed Daphne into the world. Since then, he had promised never to remarry, never to replace the love he had lost. All his life, all his energy, all his wealth poured into raising one girl, and now strangers lined up at his door. Each one smiling, each one pretending, each one desperate to marry her. Daphne said softly, "Father, why do you always look so worried when men come to see me?" And Mr. Bala answered, "Because I can see what you cannot, my child. Their eyes are not on you, they are on my fortune." Then what chance do I have at love? What man will see me, father? See me, and not the money. Mr. Bala pausing and his voice heavy. That is the very question that keeps me awake. I gave your mother my word that I would protect you from wolves dressed as men, and I intend to keep it. Daphne pleading, "But father, am I caused to be alone because of your wealth? Should I chase away everyone who shows interest?" And Mr. Bala stern, and then softening, "No, but I must choose carefully. Not for myself, Daphne, but for you. You deserve a man whose heart beats for you, not for the empire I built." The room grew silent. Daphne looked at her father, the man who had raised her single-handedly, the man who had turned his grief into a fortress around her. She wanted to argue, but deep down, she knew he was right. Too many suitors had come and gone, each leaving behind whispers, glances, and demands that revealed their true desires. Daphne's voice breaking, "Sometimes I wish you weren't rich. Maybe then someone will truly see me." Mr. Bala answered, "Never curse the blessing, my daughter. Wealth is not the problem. It is the man's heart, and a man's heart is revealed in how he treats those who cannot profit from." Daphne, confused, "What do you mean?" Almost whispering, Mr. Bala said, "A man's character is revealed not in how he treats the rich, but how he treats the poor." At the moment, a decision was born in Mr. Bala's mind, a decision that would test not just Daphne's suitors, but his own courage as a father. He would create a trial, a trap of truth, one no greedy man could escape. Daphne, suspicious, watching him closely. "Father, what are you thinking? I know that look in your eyes. Tell me." Mr. Bala hesitates and smirks faintly. "You said you wanted someone who would see you, not my fortune. Then allow me, my child, to strip away every disguise, to see who truly comes for your heart." And Daphne answered alarmed, "Father, what are you planning?" Mr. Bala pulled away, looking distant. "You will see soon enough, but remember this: wolves cannot resist meat, and men cannot resist money. If there's one among them who looks past all of that, then, and only then, will I give him my blessing." Daphne stood frozen, torn between fear and curiosity. She had never seen her father look so determined, so quietly dangerous. Whatever he was planning, it would change everything. And with those words, the billionaire began the most dangerous game of his life. Influential, together we'll be unstoppable. Mr. Bala, in disguise, stepping closer. "Young master, please, just a coin, anything." The suitor snares and laughs, turning to Daphne. "Roland, see how they crawl to me, these beggars. They know who has money, watch this." He pulls out a note, tears it in half, and throws it at Bala's feet. Roland mocking, "Here, eat paper if you're hungry, or maybe lick my shoes, eh?" Ha ha ha. The crowd nearby laughs with him. Daphne looks disgusted, stepping away. Daphne coldly said, "Is this how you treat people with mockery?" Roland shrugs. "They are not people, Daphne. They are beggars. Don't waste your pity." The beggar lowers his head, hiding the anger burning in his eyes. He says nothing, only murmurs softly to himself. Their mask falls so easily. Later that evening, Daphne and the beggar cross paths when the suitors are gone. Daphne, softly studying him, "Old man, who are you? Why do I feel like I've seen your eyes before?" Mr. Bala quickly looking away. "I'm no one, my child. Just a shadow. Don't trouble your heart with me." Daphne frowned. "Strange. You speak like my father sometimes. Gentle but strong." Mr. Bala covering with a cough. "Your father is a great man. Me? I am dust. Forget me." Daphne hesitates, but her heart softens. She reaches into her bag and places food in his hands. "Daphne, here. At least eat. If others treat you like trash, I won't." For the first time, Mr. Bala feels tears sting his eyes. His daughter, kind to strangers even when her suitors are not. He turns away quickly so she won't notice. Day after day, the test continued. Suitors came with diamonds, perfumes, expensive cars. They brought promises of paradise, but none had the humility to show kindness to the poor old beggar at the gate. Until one day, a young man walked up, not with gold chains, not with roses, not with loud promises, just with sincerity in his eyes. His name was Emeka. The next morning, long before Daphne awoke, Mr. Bala stood in front of the mirror. But this time, the reflection staring back at him was not that of a billionaire. Old clothes, torn at the edges, shoes with holes in them, a hat pulled low over his face. He smelled dust on his hands, rubbed ash into his beard, and bent his back until he looked weak, fragile, and invisible. That morning, the billionaire was gone. In his place stood a beggar. If they cannot respect this man, then they will never deserve the real me, or my daughter. He positioned himself by the gate near Daphne's campus, a place where suitors often waited for her, showing off their flashy cars and expensive perfumes. Now he waited too, but not as her father, as her test. A black car screeches to a halt. A young man in designer clothes stepped out. Holding flowers, he spots Daphne walking out. "Daphne, my queen, look at you, brighter than the sun itself. I brought roses, only the finest for you." Mr. Bala, disguised and his voice weak. "Please, sir, spare me some change. I have not eaten in 2 days." "What is this nonsense, old man? Get out of my way before I lose my temper," said the first tutor. "Just a little bread, my son. God will bless you," said Mr. Bala. "Bless me? I don't need a beggar's blessings. Move, dirty man." He shoves Bala aside roughly and turns back to Daphne with a fake smile. "Don't mind him, sweetheart. These slow lives will swarm anywhere money gathers. Come, let's go for lunch," says the first tutor. Daphne's eyes narrow. She glances at the beggar, her heart uneasy. For some reason, his presence feels familiar. 3 weeks later, Daphne and Roland went out on a date. Roland dressed in a sharp suit, wore gold chains, chewing gum loudly, bragging before even greeting Daphne. "Ah, Daphne, you know, I'm the man for you. Look at me, rich and handsome." For days, suitors had come and gone. Expensive suits, flashy cars, sweet words that carried no truth. Each one failed, revealing arrogance when faced with poor beggar at the gate. But one afternoon, a different man arrived. No car, no roses, no perfume of imported brands, only simple clothes, dusty shoes, and sincerity in his eyes. His name was Emeka. Daphne is standing by the gate waiting. The beggar, Mr. Bala, sits quietly at his usual spot. A young man walks up nervously. Emeka cleared his throat. "Good afternoon, Daphne." Daphne answered politely, smiling. "Good afternoon." "You came on foot?" Emeka scratched his head. "Yes, I don't have a car, but I wanted to see you anyway. I hope that's not embarrassing." Daphne answered gently. "Not at all. At least you came." The beggar coughed weakly, extending his hand. "Mr. Bala, in disguise." "Young man, please, a coin, anything for bread." Unlike the others, Emeka doesn't sneer. He immediately kneels down to the beggar's level. And Emeka answered, "Papa, I don't have much, but I can share." He opens his bag and brings out a small loaf of bread and a bottle of water and places them in the beggar's hands. And Mr. Bella still tested him. Why waste your little on me? You could save it for yourself. And Emeka answered softly, smiling, because tomorrow could be me in your place. Respecting you costs me nothing, and kindness is never wasted. Daphne watched silently with her eyes wide. Something in her heart stirred. The beggar leaned closer, watching Emeka carefully. And what if kindness never fits you back? What if all you get is pain? Emeka answered calmly, then I still haven't lost. A man's worth isn't measured by what he gains, but by what he gives. The beggar nodded slowly, hiding a flicker of pride. Mr. Bala still pressed further. You stand here, talking sweetly, but look at her, beautiful, educated and wealthy. Can you offer a woman like Daphne anything? You can't even buy her a meal. Emeka looked at Daphne, then back at the beggar, his voice steady but low. I can offer her respect, loyalty and peace. If that's not enough, then I'll walk away quietly. Daphne's breath catched. No man had ever spoken like that before. That evening, Mr. Bala removes part of his disguise in private, staring into his mirror, his hands trembling slightly. Mr. Bala said to himself, whispering, this boy, he has nothing, yet he has more than all the others combined. Could he be him? Could this man be the man that I have prayed for? But then his eyes hardened, determination returning. No, I cannot trust so quickly. He must be tested further. Let us see if he can withstand fire. The next day, Bala prepared the stage for an evening greater trial. Emeka had passed the first test with kindness, for character is revealed under pressure, and very soon the wolves in fine clothing will bare their teeth and Emeka would be forced to stand against them. For the first time in years, Mr. Bala felt something he could not control, doubt. Daphne's heart had chosen Emeka, but a father's heart is never too easily convinced. Behind the rags of the beggar, Bala's sharp eyes studied the young man. Too good to be true, he thought. Is it kindness or is it strategy? Also, quietly and secretly, he laid his snares. One hot afternoon, Daphne and Emeka walked together, laughing softly. Up ahead, Bala in beggar disguise staggers and falls to the ground, clutching his chest. Daphne panicked. Oh my God, Baba. Emeka, he fainted. Emeka immediately kneels, lifting the beggar's head gently. Easy, old father, easy. Breathe, slowly. Daphne, still very anxious. We should call someone. Emeka said firm but calmly, no. First, water, quick. Daphne rushes off. Emeka lifts the beggar's frail body, carries him to a shaded bench, fanning his face with his bare hands. Sweat beads his brows, but he doesn't let go. Mr. Bala's weak voice said, why waste your strength on me? Leave me, young man. Go and enjoy your walk with her. Emeka, without hesitation, said, a walk can wait, a life cannot wait. Bala coughs, hiding a glint of pride as Daphne returns with water. They help him drink slowly as he sits upright. Mr. Bala's hoarse whisper said, thank you, son. But remember, sacrificing your joy for others, it leaves you empty in the end. Emeka said quietly but firmly, then let me be empty if it saves a man's dignity. Bala lowers his eyes, hiding his thoughts. First test passed. The next week, Emeka strolls alone, humming. Suddenly, a worn leather wallet drops near his feet. He picks it up. Inside, thick wads of cash. His eyes widen. Mr. Bala approaching in disguise, limping. Ah, young man, fortune smiles on you. You found treasure. Keep it. Who would know? Emeka stares at the wallet, then at the beggar. Slowly, he shakes his head. I would know. And when man loses honesty, no treasure can buy it back. Mr. Bala gruffly testing him. But you're poor. This money could change your life. Why throw away such a chance? Emeka placing the wallet firmly in Bala's hand, because it is not mine. Bala's chest tightens. Second test pass. Yet still, suspicion lingers. A week later, Bala waits for Emeka near the garden. Slouching as usual, Daphne has gone inside briefly. The beggar leans closer. Voice slow and sharp. Mr. Bala, young man, do you know who she is? She's the daughter of Bala the billionaire. Her life drips with wealth you cannot even dream of. Emeka said quietly, I know. Mr. Bala pressing harder. Then hear this, her father will never allow her to marry a poor man like you. He will crush you. Leave her now and spare yourself the humiliation. Emeka's face falters, then looks down. Silently for a long while, the words sting deeply, his shoulders tremble. Then he exhales, steadying himself. And Emeka said firmly, if her father rejects me, then I'll walk away with dignity. But I will not leave her out of fear. Bala stares at him, stunned. For a moment, he forgets to breathe. The boy's word cuts straight into the promise he made to his late wife to find no riches but truth. Later that night, Bala removes his disguise in his study. He stares at his reflection, torn between fear and hope. Mr. Bala whispered, he passed every test: compassion, honesty, courage, even loyalty. Could it be him? He looked at his wife's picture and his voice broke. My love, I swore I would protect her if I chose wrongly. I doomed her life. And yet my heart tells me this boy is different. His hands trembled, then he slams his fist on the table. Decision firm. Mr. Bala said, low and resolved, no, not yet. He must face one last fire, the kind no disguise, no sweet words can escape. Only then will I know. And so Bala's heart waged war against itself. Emeka had proven himself time and again, but fathers who love deeply also fear deeply. One final test loomed in the shadows. Would Emeka endure, or would everything break apart? The night of Daphne's birthday came, draped in lights and laughter. The mansion glowed with candles and music. Friends arrived with lavish gifts, and even some of the rejected suitors returned, dressed sharper than ever, hoping for a chance. But somewhere in the corner, bent and ragged, the beggar sat quietly. None knew that behind the worn beard and tired eyes, the master of the house was watching one man and one man alone. Guests mingled. Daphne greeted everyone warmly, dressed elegantly. Emeka slips in quietly with a small, neatly wrapped box. He looks nervous but determined. Daphne spots him instantly and hurries over. Daphne smiled. You came. Emeka handed her the box. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I wish I could give more, but Daphne interrupted him softly. You've already given me enough. This means more than gold. Some former suitors watched with envy. Whispers started. That's the boy, the one she favors. Laughter spreads, but Daphne holds Emeka's hand proudly, ignoring them. Suddenly, a waiter trips near the table, spilling wine all over Emeka's shirt. Laughter erupts, and the suitors smirk. One shouts mockingly. Kelvin said loudly, see your future husband, Daphne. Can he even afford a new shirt? And more people laughed. Daphne bristled in anger, but before she speaks, Emeka stands tall, unbothered. He takes off the stained shirt, leaving just his plain undershirt. He smiled calmly at Daphne. It's just a shirt. The laughter dies, and a hush falls. Daphne beams with pride. The beggar in the corner leans forward, his eyes narrowing. Test 1 passed. Moments later, Bala, still disguised as the beggar, slowly rises and hobbles towards Daphne. He raises his voice, shaking his head. Mr. Bala said harshly, what foolishness is this? A princess holding hands with a pauper, a queen dancing with a servant. Girl, have you no shame? Gasps rippled through the hall. Friends murmured. Daphne freezes, insulted. Emeka steps forward instantly, anger flashing in his eyes. Emeka, his voice steady and protecting her. Enough, old man. You may insult me, but you will not shame her. She is worth more than all your bitterness combined. Silence. Every eye was staring at them. The beggar tilts his head, watching him with burning intensity. Then slowly he smiles beneath his beard. The hall stills as the beggar pulls at his beard. The disguise falls away. Gasps echoed like thunder. It is Bala, the billionaire, the father, the master of the house. Daphne's eyes widen in disbelief. Daphne whispered, Father, all this time, it was you? Emeka staggered back, stunned. The suitors pale, realizing the man they mocked was the very man they wanted approval from. Mr. Bala's booming voice said, "Yes, I was the beggar at the gate. I watched each of you. I saw your greed, your pride, and your cruelty. And I saw one man who gave bread when he had little, who returned what was not his, who stood firm when love was threatened." He turned to Emeka, voice trembling with conviction. And Mr. Bala said, "That man is you, Emeka." The crowd erupts in murmurs. Bala steps closer to Emeka, his eyes fierce, yet wet with tears. "You have nothing the world counts as wealth, but you have what money cannot buy: character. Tonight, before all, I declare you have my blessing. You are the man I trust with my only child." Daphne cried openly, rushing into her father's arms. Then she turns and holds Emeka's hand tightly. Emeka kneels before Bala. "Sir, I have no riches to give her, only myself. But I swear I will protect her, honor her, and never betray what you've entrusted to me." Mr. Bala lifted him up, and that son is wealthy enough. Bala raised his glass. The hall goes silent. Let's all here remember this. Gold may dazzle, but it fades. Cars grow old, mansions crumble, but a man's heart, if it is true, builds a home no riches can rival. And people applauded him. The suitors slink away, ashamed. Daphne smiled through her tears, her hand locked in Emeka's. Bala watched them, his late wife's memory glowing in his heart. For the first time, he felt peace. And so, the billionaire's disguise ended, not with riches displayed, but with truth revealed. Love found its anchor not in wealth, but in worth.